Okay, today I want to talk about the Riddick Universe, which is an unofficial name, but it's sometimes referred to by fans as the Necromongerverse or Furyan mythos. Now, this is created by director David Twohy, who is, of course, the original creator and the driving force in conjunction with Vin Diesel, who's his creative partner and has really helped push and shape this lore. Now, this lore is typically defined as being sci-fi action horror with very mythic, Masonic undertones. The core themes are survival. This is destiny versus free will versus primal instinct, there are death cults, the dying of light, and the mythology of the Furyans as this lost warrior race. Now, when we talk about the setting, this realm structure, this is a lawless, very bleak galaxy where space travel is brutal, planets are often very inhospitable, and societies are both violent and hierarchical. The major regions that we know of, some of the planets we've seen: Crematoria, this hellish prison planet with temperature extremes; the Necropolis, or high temple ships, which are mobile fortress fleets for the Necromonger Empire. We've seen New Mecca, a holy city for devout pilgrims from the original Chronicles of Riddick, and then also Furyan, which we haven't seen, but this is Riddick's destroyed homeworld surrounded in legend. And the wider galaxy is filled with merc worlds, bounty hunter hubs, and hidden colonies. The overall cosmology or meta of this world, it vaguely implies an afterlife or a plane called the Underverse, a dimension of death that the Necromongers worship, seeking transcendence through genocide. And then there's also the Furyan Wrath, which is a mystical or genetic warrior energy that gives Furyans, like Riddick, unnatural resilience and predatory senses. Now, this world has a very long timeline in history, going back to its ancient times, where the Furyans were once a powerful and proud world, and prophesied to topple the Necromonger Lord Marshal. The Necromonger crusades themselves span centuries. Their goal is to conquer world after world, converting or killing all life in order to reach the underworld. And then, of course, it's modern telling of all this, with Riddick being the last Furyan who's hunted, imprisoned, and survives multiple apocalypse scenarios, ascending to lead the Necromongers at the end of the Chronicles. Now, this is filled with a lot of species that we've seen, but primarily humans living in colony worlds or drifting as mercs, but also the Furyans, this legendary bloodline, who are basically extinct at this point. The Necromongers are half living, half dead religious empire. It converts through brutal soul extraction. And then, of course, we see the mercs and the bounty hunters, who are kind of the glue of the galaxy. They're pragmatic, they're vicious, and they're motivated by credits. We've also seen the elementals, a psychic, quasi-immortal species with cosmic knowledge. Now, their technology is kind of gritty, used, more Dieselpunk vibes. They have ships capable of interstellar travel, gravity sleds, cryopods, plasma weapons, but also magic that kind of blurs the line, this being the Furyan Wrath and the Necromongers' soul-stealing capabilities, along with the elemental psychic powers. Their common conflicts in this world are really about survival versus extinction, which we see with the Furyans and the Necromongers. We see some themes of freedom versus religious conquest when we look at the Necromonger Crusade, and then on another level there's man versus beast, as Riddick is constantly fighting the worst predators, both alien and human. But really, this is about individuals versus fate, and can Riddick outrun the prophecy that seems to define him? Now, some of the notable lore or rules to this world that we see: you keep what you kill, which is a brutal Necromonger chant that is a rule for leadership. The Underverse, which is half mystic and half religious concepts, driving mass suicide, and the Furyans as a cosmic wildcard. If Riddick isn't the last, then there may be an entire Messiah myth waiting to pop off. Now, in the timeline, we've seen the Pitch Black series, where it starts off moving into the Chronicles of Riddick, and then ultimately to Riddick with an animated short in between that. And the core storytelling hooks are more of a dark sci-fi world. It is basically Mad Max in space and one-man survival war against predators, mercs, and entire cult empires. The themes are of lost homeworlds, racial genocide, and the rebirth of a Furyan dynasty. It's messy, it's savage, and it wants to be more mythic than it's ever allowed to be. And why it stands out is we've still never gotten the full payoff for the mythos. The potential for deeper Furyan lore, knowing more about the underworld as a cosmic realm, and the origins of the elementals are ripe for expansion. Ultimately, the Riddick universe is a mythic space wasteland. Survival for the most savage, where your soul better be ready for a one-way trip through the underworld, and you just might run into Riddick in the dark. Again, a great world, hasn't been as well developed as we've seen some other world builders, but still a very impressive feat. I enjoyed the first 3 offerings, including the animated film, and knowing a little bit more about the Underverse and the entire mythos will just round this kind of diverse and very unique world out in ways that we've yet to see yet, in ways that we've yet to experience yet, in ways that we have yet to experience.